I was expecting some kind of man cave. Let's open the door.
Okay, here we go. And then this is homemade from cheongju, made with barley. One trick that I learned, I forget who taught me. I don't know if anyone does it with me, but I'll give the secret away since I'm not doing it for money. That saves me a lot of headaches. His noodle, I think, is the best in Korea. It's pricey, but I think it's the best in Korea. Stuff, and there's cheap wine down there. Don't film that.
I'm in Seoul, and I'm with John Frankl at
How you guys doing?
Brew Workshop. This is a special thing. I was expecting some kind of man cave, I think.
It's a luxury man cave.
This is nice. So thank you, John, for
coming
us the place today.
I've had the pleasure of seeing Jeff's house and all his brew setup back home, so it's good to return the favor.
Great. Okay, so let's just turn around and open the door. Oh yeah, I should have introduced you, John, as award-winning brewer.
But you can do that later.
Yeah,
Are you filming now?
Yeah.
So yeah, these are some of my awards and some of my first sojus that I made when I first got my still. Some of the first cheongjus that I made the color has changed a lot. This was my graduation project from the cheongju, so and just a lot of nice. There's some famous potters down south that I've got some stuff from. This was a prize that I won. These are old. Some of the brass ones are actually old. Korean drinking stuff, and there's cheap wine down there. Don't film that. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you, John. Let's open the door.
Okay, here we go. This is where I do most of my fermenting, do the filtering in the bathroom. But, have a little wall-mounted air conditioner so I can keep it at about 24, 25 degrees in the summer when it's 33 degrees outside, and that would ruin everything. Keeps the noodle dry as well, and keeps it from absorbing a bunch of moisture.
Oh yeah, what do you have?
This is from Songgakgokja, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, one of the two biggest in Korea. And then this is homemade from cheongju, made with barley.
And how did you get that?
I was at a traditional market. It smelled great, and the sort of distribution looks good. So I'm waiting to try that.
So I always wondered, in a traditional market, how do you know if the nubruk is for vinegar or or for alcohol?
Yeah, I'll ask usually, but I don't think there's a huge difference. I don't think anyone in a traditional market is that specialized. It's more whether it's actually going to work or not. Some of them are just big clumps of crushed wheat that don't seem to have, really matured correctly. But this has a nice layer of mold without. You can smell it. It's pretty. I don't know if you can smell it through your mouth, but it's a good smell. When I broke it open, everything looks about right. There's no dark spots where it didn't dry evenly or anything. So I'll do an experimental batch with that probably when I get back from America in the fall and the weather's easier for brewing. Then I got my little 20-liter still for turning, unperfect cheongju into soju. That saves me a lot of headaches. I like cheongju. I usually brew for cheongju, but if it's just 2% off the flavor, I don't have to worry about it because it makes great soju. Right. And then rice steamer, bunch of different things for straining and more noodle, more rice. I try to do almost everything in hangari over here. I have a couple stainless containers when I'm getting lazy. This is just a bunch of stuff in process.
And you steam clean these?
I do. I just turn them upside down in a big pot like this. Just put some water in there, boil it. And I have smaller ones for the openings that are smaller, but that seems to be the easiest for me. Just get the water boiling, and I'll let it sit until this is so hot you can't touch it. One trick that I learned, I forget who taught me, it's kind of fun. If people are wondering when it's hot enough, an older brewer taught me, there's a little bit of an indentation here. They'll put just room temperature water here, and when it boils off, that means that the hamari is super hot. It's like boiling the water on top, and then that's about good. That means even the outside of the hamari is way hot enough.
But yeah, these are for starters and stuff, and obviously, something gnarly on. I don't know what dripped on that one, so like that. Yeah, smaller ones for starters, and then bigger ones for those are 30 liters, 20 liters.
Oh, okay.
For bigger brews. I don't go bigger than 30 liters just because I'm not trying to sell it, and these are about as heavy as I want to lift. When they're full, I've never weighed them, but they're plenty heavy. And I don't have, I don't want wheels and dollies and all that. Then this stuff's in process. Some of it's still settling out. Some of it's real clear.
Yeah,
I don't use any
that's
filtration.
Great storage area.
Yeah, I don't use any. And then rice or noodle that's been open, it's good to put in here because it's just so airtight and cold.
Yeah.
And then these are, this right here, you can see the age. I don't know when I did that, 2017. So sometimes I'll distill. If I get a really good batch of soju, I'll age it. And I'm not an expert, but what I learned in a distilling class was 3 years. For water and alcohol to fully merge chemically, 3 years is supposed to be the minimum. This is already 5 years because I got lazy. It's probably better. But I got, there's different, this is 65%, 67%. These ones, I'm not sure. This one was what percent was this? 65. I don't like to go 40% because you can buy that in the store. I like to go 55 and above, stuff that's a little harder to get store-bought.
Yeah.
But yeah, at 3 years, they tell me, the people who know the science, water and alcohol are kind of completely merged. After that, when you have like a 20-year-old scotch or a 20-year-old soju, you're paying rent and evaporation. Like they're losing product and the storage space, and therefore the price keeps going up. But in terms of just getting the taste right, 3 years is supposed to be enough. So I aged some of it. That's omija, just making some syrup.
Oh, yeah.
And once I get the syrup, which I don't really brew with, the spent fruit is great to brew with.
Oh.
It's just, I don't know if anyone does it with me, but I'll give the secret away since I'm not doing it for money. If you make omija syrup, you have all of this, fruit that's still filled with sugar. You've drained most of the water off, but if you put that in with your kodubap, it makes it awesome. Like iangju or samyangju. I've never really tried it for tanyangju, but if you put it in with the kodubap, it's pretty good and pretty easy and pretty foolproof because the sugar is just gonna ferment right away.
Well, I've tasted your omija.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lazy way to do it, but it's good because I have friends who run like brewing classes and stuff, and they'll make omija wine. So they'll get like 100 gallons of this, and they'll strain off all the syrup, and they'll throw it away, the fruit, because there's no really other use for it. But except I say, like, hey, give me those 50 pounds, and they just give it to me, so it's cool.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we'll try a bunch of this later. This is a guy I studied with, Han Young-suk, and now he's a very famous noodle guy, and he's just opened a full commercial brewery, and he's doing really well, I think. But his noodle, I think, is the best in Korea. It's pricey, but I think it's the best in Korea. So if I want something special, I'll use that. Otherwise, this is, everyone probably knows that this is this one. And I looked for the Korean wheat, but they were out of it. So I think the green is Korean wheat, and this color is imported wheat. That's what's on the tray here. And this is so good. It's really just consistent.
Okay.
In terms of performance and flavor. So if you're not looking to get really tricky with something like this, or like me, I just like to goof off and find things in the market. But day in and day out, I think this is pretty foolproof.
Yeah.
And then just different utensils. It doesn't take much. That's the beautiful thing about
Yeah. So you have.
I have way more than I need,
Is it?
and it's way more than I need. I mean, right here, if I didn't have a day job, I could run a small commercial brewery out of this place. I'm just lazy, and I just want to brew what I want to drink. But in terms of size, I have friends. The rules are getting better and better for small breweries. I have a friend, and he said 10 pyong is all you need. He had, I don't know what that is, but it's bigger than this. But like Probably the living room is 10 pounds, not this room and not, so I mean, you don't need much. And that's because they have a whole built-in, they don't use a fridge like this. They build a custom fridge and it's part of their space and that takes up like half of it. So maybe 5 pyong for just brewing, which is more like this. Yeah. They need to store before they distribute. And this is plenty for me. I mean, I could get 100 gallons in there. Probably have. Jeez. I mean, each 2 of these is a gallon, right? So I probably have 30 gallons in there right now.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for showing everyone your brewing workshop.
One more thing.
Yeah.
This is for making group.
Oh.
I forgot. It's just a junkyard fridge that you can get anywhere. Tear the motor out because it's just dead weight. And then you put a temperature control on here. There's a hole. You can't see it on the other side. There's a hole, but basically that's just a heat panel right there.
Oh yeah.
And there's a hole in the back and a hole here to keep air circulating. And so, in the beginning, when you're trying to keep the temperature and humidity high, this is perfect. And then you can slowly tweak the temperature and humidity over time. But this is great for just small batches of noodle. If you want, you can do it outside. It's been done 1,000 years outside, but this is a little more foolproof.
Yeah, great.
This bathroom would be kind of ugly if my family lived here because it's just big and a huge shower, but it's perfect for a brewery. So I take I'm in hangari and those big stainless steel things, and there's a big floor space and a drain. Everywhere's tile, so I can spray water everywhere. It's easy to clean and rinse and filter it. I do all my filtration in here and cleaning and rinsing, so it's nice.
Great.
Fun stuff. Are you cooled down a little bit? Yeah, if you're ever in...
Thank you, John.
No, thanks for coming by. And anyone, if you're in Seoul, I'm easy to find, John Frankl on Facebook. If you want to come by and brew or taste, give me a holler.
Well, thanks again, John.
Yeah, no, all good.
Thanks for watching.